Hey guys, it's Karen and I'm here to do another ingredient spotlight, and this is on ethylated vitamin C, and it is spurred on by the fact that I bought the ethylated vitamin C from The Ordinary, but I thought I'd do it as an ingredient spotlight so I can tell you all about it as an ingredient and then discuss the products at the end. So there's this and one other product, just in case you aren't interested in The Ordinary. Ethylated vitamin C, or ethyl vitamin C, is created by a chemical reaction between ascorbic acid, which we know is the, I guess, true vitamin C, and what they do is add an ethyl group to it and it creates ethylated vitamin C. What then happens is in your skin it splits apart again in the same way as I talked about with the retinoate. It splits apart and ascorbic acid is then available in your skin to use. The claims for this new product, ethylated vitamin C, are that it is better absorbed, more stable, better at skin whitening, more effective. There's some really big claims for it. One of the things that particularly appeals to me about it is not only water loving or water soluble, it's also lipid loving and lipid soluble. So whereby ascorbic acid will work best in water products. So do you remember when I did the video showing the ascorbic acid and how to mix it? And I was saying I mix it into oily products. That's the way I like it feeling on my skin, but it won't penetrate very well because it doesn't dissolve in oil. Whereas the ethylated vitamin C does. It loves oil and it loves water, so it will penetrate better. Regarding research and evidence, I really can't find anything at all. The only small bit of research I can find is that this ingredient is thought to cause a dermatitis reaction in some people. So if you have got very sensitive skin, or you have rosacea, or you know that you have eczema or anything that flares up with sensitivities, it might be one to avoid. It's not to say that it is one to avoid, but it might be one to avoid. No other specific research. It seems to make sense that it's more stable and that it penetrates better. So I find it to be quite an exciting ingredient. There was one out by DCM already, or in fact there is one out. I believe it's still available, and it's by Niod and it's called Elan. So we'll talk about products. There really isn't anything else to discuss regarding ingredients and research, etc. But yeah, there was one out by Niod called Elan, or is one out by Niod called Elan. We don't have that available in the UK because there's some kind of law that prevents that being sold here. So if you're in the USA, that's available. Then there is one called the Hero Project that is available to us in the UK, and it's on QVC, and it is a 30% and it is £35. And then of course you have the Ordinary one. So the Ordinary one is the only one I've actually tried. I've had this for about 4 days and been using it, and I love it. I really love it. From what I understand and what we currently know, I believe that it is more stable, and I believe that it will penetrate better. And so I do believe this is the best way to get your ascorbic acid, because it does work as ascorbic acid in the skin. The only thing I would say there is we still need there to be more research on ascorbic acid and what it does for the skin. There really isn't enough proof out there that it does anything. It's something that some people choose to completely leave out. The reason I use it is because I love skincare. I'm obsessed with using different products, and I found the vitamin C and silicone to really work well on my pores. So I'm going to use this for a little while and see if there's any changes to my pores, and if it was more the silicone than it was the vitamin C. So this one from The Ordinary is £18, and you get the usual 30ml in the usual bottle. I have to just mention that I'm disappointed that I'm still having to put my labels on here, because I'm sure it was about a year ago that they said they would be putting larger lettering on here, or they would be doing something to make these stand out as the ingredients that they were. And I have got so many bottles from The Ordinary that I have to label every single one because I just can't read it, and there's nothing to distinguish them from each other. And I get them and start using them, and I have been known to go, oh, hold on a minute, I'm putting the wrong product on my face, you know. So just had to put that in there. But anyway, this is the product, and when it goes on, in fact, I'm not going to put it on my hand. I'll put in the little video of me putting it on my face this morning. It does feel oily, so that may be something that puts you off, because it does feel oily. It doesn't feel like it's clogging or anything like that. There's a couple of products that feel a little bit oily and then that sort of dissipates, whereas I feel like this it sort of stays feeling oily. It doesn't immediately absorb. You can, you know, keep on rubbing it in and keep on rubbing it in. It would actually make a really good massage oil, I thought, because it doesn't disappear. However, I put my sunscreen on top. I'm currently using the Simple SPF 30 and no problems at all. It didn't make any difference to that. It sits perfectly under makeup. You know, it hasn't broken my makeup up at all. And yeah, really happy with that. And in fact, it feels almost like I'm using a combination of my vitamin C in silicone and resveratrol and ferulic acid, and honestly I think this might replace those two. I think I've said to you guys before, there isn't a huge amount of research I mean in antioxidants in general, but the resveratrol and ferulic acid I was using more because I enjoyed that sort of oily feel. I felt like my skin was benefiting from it, but I feel like I've got the same feeling from this, but this is the vitamin C that I do want to be part of my regime. So I'm going to continue using it for a couple of weeks and see if I still enjoy it. And like I said, I've got a feeling this will replace my resveratrol and vitamin C, because it is expensive at £18. It's not their typical inexpensive product, but I would spend, I don't know, it's probably £6 for each bottle, so that would be £12 anyway for the vitamin C and resveratrol and ferulic. So I would be happy to spend the £18 on this, and I've used it for quite a few days and you don't need to use very much. Even for me, you'll see, I don't think I used very much in the video. I noticed the reviews from the Hero Project one on QVC had quite mixed reviews, but mostly positive, mostly really positive. You know, people were saying they'd never seen their skin look so amazing. It was much, much brighter, because it's thought, obviously with the better penetration, that this will be more effective, and particularly for skin lightening, that it will work much faster, because there's more ascorbic acid available where it needs to be, and more gets down deep down, you know, where you need it to. So it's a very interesting product, and if you specifically want the benefits of vitamin C, so the skin lightening, the skin brightening, the uneven skin tone, you know, pigmentation, dealing with those kind of issues, I would highly recommend giving this a try, because I feel like it may work better than any of the other vitamin C's out there. That's everything to tell you about this. I'll give you a quick rundown of my makeup. I'm wearing Bare Minerals Bare Pro Foundation in 09. I've got on the blush pigment, or it's a pigment by Bare Minerals, and the name of it is Blush, on my eyes. And then on my cheeks, I've got a mixture of the Max Factor Lavish Mauve blush and MAC Just a Wisp, because the Just a Wisp is very, very light, and I didn't give enough colour. It just gives a little bit of satiny, maybe more than satin, maybe a bit shiny. On my lips, I have got Sleek Metalised Rose liquid lipstick. This top is from Next. That's everything. Thank you so much for watching today, and I'll speak to you soon.